how to have extreme diet day. So here are just a couple of, or maybe a little more, of strategies. I just want to quickly put it out there. Extreme diet day. So extreme diet day. All right. So first thing you want to do is just to have an idea of how much calorie you want to have, right? And how much deficit you want to create. You know, you set your goals. When I have extreme diet day, I'm really looking at the max 1500 calories, right? At the max 1500 calories. Now, so then you could consider how much deficit that's going to be. Probably at least 500 calorie deficit or more. Now, if you don't exactly reach the goal, that's okay. Still, it's gonna be a great success. But you gotta aim for something, right? Now, when you go do it a few times, get a little training, practice, you get stronger, you could really go down on your calories, right? But for me to even merely consider it extreme diet day, it has to be, about 1500 calories, which is going to be definitely for me well over 500 deficit. So that's one thing you want to do. So, boom, right there. What's your goal? How do you define an extreme diet day success? And now here I'm going to just quickly go ahead and just give a couple of strategies. One is, okay, so one strategy is, I'm just trying to think which one I should say first. Well, let's talk about diet for a bit. So the strategy really becomes, protein, mainly protein, then some fiber, and minimal, as low as you can get it, carb, right? So it's really protein based. So now you got to decide, okay, what am I going to eat? The greatest foods you could eat, mainly those foods like the larger or largest percentage of food. Here I'm just going to give you a couple of examples. Eggs are incredible. Tuna, eggs, tuna, other meat products, things that are very high calorie and low on other things are automatically. It's like a high calorie, it's going to be, in these cases, also very low on carb in these two cases, in these two examples. And obviously they're both extremely high, extremely low on carb. So then you gotta have a strategy. Okay, what am I gonna eat? All right. So we just talked a little bit about diet. Now I'm gonna talk a little bit about mental strategies. Mental strategies. How do you strengthen your mind? Okay. All right. I am a super advocate of tracking your food consumption, which also at the same time becomes your calorie consumption, right? At the same time, I know this is not easy. This is hard. So on your extreme diet day, it actually becomes super easy because you're not eating 30 types of food or some foods that are really mixed with other foods, right? So tracking is easy. You write down what you eat, and as you increase your your protein consumption, and again at the same time even low on fiber and minimal carb, now you're suppressing your hunger. You eat less, calorie tracking becomes easy. It's not like you have to jot down all these things, all these food items and their equivalent calorie intake and add them all up. No, it's going to be much simpler worksheet, right? So here are just a few things that I wanted to say. So number one, the first thing we talked about was you got to have some approximate goal at least of how much calorie intake, how much deficit for the day. And then what foods are you going to eat, which whatever food it is, it should be high on protein, lower on fiber, and lowest on carb, right? And the third thing we talked about was a mental strategy of just writing down what you eat and basically tracking your calorie, which is basically for sure it will show that you have succeeded, right? So you have succeeded, but just this process strengthens your mind, right? So that's what we just wanted to talk about. I don't want to keep this any longer than I talked about it for this session. And have a great day.